Are you thinking about purchasing or selling a home in Montgomery County, Maryland, but you're really concerned of a housing crash in 2021? If that's you, then you have to check out this entire video. Hi, this is Kevin Grolig. I'm a real estate agent with Compass located in Potomac, Maryland, and thank you for visiting my latest video in a series, Real Kevin. I post videos weekly about life and real estate in Montgomery County, Maryland that you're simply not going to want to miss. So today, we're going to explore the question that everyone's asking. Is there a housing crash in Montgomery County on the horizon? Today, I'm going to give you the 7 reasons why I don't see a housing crash. However, I do see a stabilization occurring. As I've said in some of my recent videos, the real estate market in Montgomery County, Maryland is absolutely on fire. Single family and townhome values have appreciated between 15 to 25% since the beginning of the pandemic. The rapid increase of home values over the last year, combined with not so distant memories of the real estate crash of 2006, has everyone asking the question, when will the bubble burst? While no one can say for sure what the future holds, there's absolutely no question that 20% appreciation simply isn't sustainable. Many of those in the media, as well as social media influencers, are predicting doom and gloom. But let's face it, doom and gloom sells. With all that being said, the question still remains, will the market crash in 2021 or in the near future? Today, I will present you with 7 reasons why I don't see a market crash in the near future. Once again, I see more of a balancing act or stabilization occurring. Number 1, supply and demand. In Montgomery County, there's 29% less inventory on the market today than there was at the same time last year. This time last year, all the agents and all the buyers were saying, there is no inventory. Interest rates are still hovering in the historic low range of about 3% for a fixed rate. This allows home payments to be more affordable and sometimes even cheaper than rent. Currently in Montgomery County, there is only a 3-week supply of homes on the market. Basically, what this means is if no new homes were listed, the current supply of properties on the market would sell out in 3 weeks. That's absolutely unheard of. Number 2, millennial buyers. Millennial buyers are currently buying homes in huge numbers. Younger millennials between the ages of 22 and 30 now account for 14% of all homes sold nationwide. Older millennials between the ages of 31 and 40 now make up 23% of all the homes purchased nationwide. Combined, that's 37% of all homes sold are being purchased by millennial buyers. This is a huge generation of home buyers who have buying power, and this simply isn't going to change overnight. Number 3, higher lending standards. In contrast to the real estate market in the early 2000s and the eventual real estate crash in 2006, today the lending standards are much higher than the standards in the early 2000s. Unlike the standards in the early 2000s, today's buyers are fully documented. This means they're documented on credit, income, debt, work history, savings pattern, reserve cash, and more. In the early 2000s, it couldn't have been 180 degrees different. Buyers were offered subprime loans, and many times there simply was no documentation whatsoever. I remember stated income loans being all the rage. What stated income means is the buyer would simply state on an application, this is who I am and this is how much money I make, with no verification. This is a recipe for disaster.
You don't say.
This lending practice actually made it pretty easy for dead people to get loans. Do we see a problem? 4, down payment. These days, home buyers in virtually every price range are putting down a sizable down payment. In the early 2000s, many home buyers were financing 100%. They had no skin in the game. Let's face it, when tough times come, if you have no skin in the game, it's easier for people to run away from their problems.
Adios, hasta la vista.
People tend to work through their problems when they have their money at stake. Number 5, fixed rates. Over the last 10 years, Virtually all home buyers have purchased their home with either a 15 or 30-year fixed rate. These are mortgage payments that are set and carved in stone for the life of the loan. Conversely, in the early 2000s, many home buyers were lured into purchasing a home with interest-only adjustable loans. Not only could many homeowners not afford their new mortgage payment when the interest adjusted, 3 to 4 years later, they'd also applied at nothing to principal because these were interest-only loans. Number 6, home equity. Home equity is the difference between the current market value and what you owe on the mortgage loan. Why does this matter? Simply put, higher levels of equity cushion a homeowner from default when home values fall. In the third quarter of 2020, the average homeowner in the United States had $194,000 of equity in their home. This is a sharp contrast from 2009, when nearly 25% of American homeowners had a negative amount of equity in their home. The bottom line is, when people have home equity, they don't run and hide and bail and go to foreclosure when tough times come. 7, we're in a familiar place. While there's no question that 20% appreciation isn't sustainable for the long run, in many parts of Montgomery County, we're just getting back to the peak values of 2005 and 2006. So what I'm saying is, it's not like we're in a place today that we've never been before. Unlike the market from 15 years ago that was built, let's face it, on phony baloney. This is a market that's simply appreciated because of supply and demand. Well-qualified buyers, fully documented, putting sizable down payments, getting fixed rate loans is a recipe for stability. I simply don't see, when tougher times come and stabilization occurs, people running away from their investment. So those are my observations from the inside of the 7 reasons why I don't see a market crash on the horizon. I rode that early 2000s real estate wave, and I'm riding this one too. And while there are some similarities, I think there's a ton of contrasts which are mentioned here, which simply don't translate into a market crash. I do believe for the next 6 months, maybe a year, we should expect to see more appreciation. At some point, I do see things balancing out, but not falling off a cliff. Tell me what you think by placing a comment below. Once again, if you like the video, give me a thumbs up, share the video, and subscribe to my channel. Thanks once again for checking me out. See you next Wednesday.